Okay, so welcome everyone. This is our Friday AACG meetup, and Jim Schantz is our presenter today from the Schantz Gallery, Jim and Kim. And this is the art of Lino Tagliapietra, and we do have Lino Tagliapietra with us today. So without further ado, Jim, why don't you and Kim and Lino take it away?
Thanks, Marilee. First of all, we'd like to welcome everyone from the AACG and thank you all for your great support of the artists, museums, and galleries. We especially want to thank you, Marilee, for all your guidance with this. This is our first go at a Zoom meeting, and you've been great all along. And also to Howard Cohen for suggesting this idea. Just going to the next slide. There we go. We're pleased to have Maestro Lino Tagliapietra join us today from his studio in Murano. And Lino is, you can see behind him his beautiful studio setting, and he's joined by his granddaughter, Diletta Tagliapietra, who's helping with the technology. And we are very honored to have been representing Lino for the past decade. And this exhibition is actually our 27th with Lino, between the different shows and also the expos that we've done. Lino is represented in a global assortment of museums, including the Victoria and Albert, the Decorative Arts Museum of the Louvre, the Metropolitan Museum. Here is his Endeavor installation at the Corning Museum. And this past year has been marked by several highlights for Lino, including being celebrated at the Pilchuck School last June to mark his 40th anniversary of his first year of teaching in America. Lino's openness to sharing his knowledge and expertise helped spawn generations of artists in the glass medium. And here we have a photo of Lino in 1979, over 40 years ago, and the first year he was working at Pilchuck. And you can see we have this interesting comparison from 1979. That's Benjamin Moore on the left. And last June in 2019. So it's incredible. Your journey, Lino, has been amazing. And your incredible stamina and creativity has been phenomenal. Lino and Lena celebrated their 60th anniversary last September, and here they are in Murano at the same church they were married in over 60 years ago, and that's Lino and Lena's sons and daughter. It's Silvano on the left, Marina, and Bruno on the right, and the image of their family and friends in the church. He also had an opening exhibition at the Toyama Museum in Japan, and this was last October. That ran through February. And this image is his exhibition at the Punta Contarì in Murano, which is an exhibition space that just opened last fall. And that's his Ala installation. You'll see that those are actually suspended in front of a large photo of his hands. And our exhibition with Lino last January at the Palm Beach Modern. And you can see his newest Maasai totem installations and the Maasai installation on the left. And these are the first, there are only 3 of these of the Maasai totems. We have one in the exhibition today, actually, at our gallery. And last February, Lino was working at the Museum of Glass. He also worked with, he was able to work there for 4 days, and also worked at a studio area for 253 in Tacoma. And this is really a majority of pieces in our exhibition were actually created during this past early part of the year. And our exhibition was actually supposed to coincide with a debut of his new documentary film. This is The Making of a Maestro is the title of the film. And it was supposed to be debuted at the Berkshire International Film Festival. So we're hoping that this will be possible again. They're talking about possibly having this in September, but who knows? It could be postponed till next May. And here's our exhibition at the gallery. And you can see the Maasai totem, which stands almost, it's 8 feet tall. And a number of new pieces. And we're going to highlight, we'll be basically going through the exhibition, showing you individual pieces. On the left is the Endeavor series, the 2 boat-like forms which are mounted to the wall. And a Maasai installation and the Maasai totem. This piece is titled Aquilone. And Lino, would you like to talk a little bit about the Aquilone and where the title comes from?
The title came from, before everything, good afternoon, thank you for coming. And then the Aquilone, because it's a kite. It must be the experience when we are kids. We try to make the Aquilone with any kind of paper we found, and we glue together, and we try to play in the space we have around in Murano. We have not many space, but we have a space to play with the Aquilone. And we want to be very colorful, very simple, not very absolutely well done, like we are kids. You know? When we are kids, we play with the Aquilone, and then also we play to hunting the swallow, the bird, the small bird. We are very terrible kids. At the time, we play for this kind of things. It's a very interesting, the technique. Technique is ancient and new the meantime. The colorful came because at the moment, I want something free. We need experience, just something bright, something fresh. No many rules, no many, just the technique to use the gravity form, the material, they must move in different way. And this one I like a lot. This one is a wonderful, wonderful technique. It's a Roman technique, like the Venetian technique used in different way. For example, it's possible to see the Aquilone, and this one is one piece, then 2 or 4, and practically is 16 years, probably more, and then where I used the same concept, how to play. For me, I think I like to see the difference between my old work and my new work. And then I found the root, they are strong. At the meantime, I like to see if they became older well, of the aging well or not, you know. Sometimes I'm very happy, sometimes, but mostly the time I'm quite happy, honest. They getting well older. I think it's wonderful things.
It's great to see the juxtaposition of your piece from 16 years ago next to the new Aquilone Maasai piece on the wall. And there's another shot of the Maasai. And you get a great reflection. The qualities of the reflection on the wall are really quite beautiful, the way they work with the composition.
Well, this one is very important for me because I think always my big passion is the stained glass window, and then the reflection, the shadow is a very important, like the pieces, because if we put everything together, and then we have the shadow looking like a stained glass window, and then I love it. I love it very much. It's one my no secret, because the secret is a little bit ridiculous. My passion to do the stained glass window. I love very much.
Make that happen.
So here is a fused glass panel. We have two of them in the show. And we were talking to Lino earlier today. Maybe, Lino, you want to give us some background on the material, because it's an interesting story about the time span in terms of making these.
You know, I think my experience with the flat panel with the Bonsai started in 1992, 93. And then at the time, I do several panels. At the time, I am in love with one material, dichroic. At the time, I like a lot. But it's a very strange love, because after I make the pieces, I don't like anymore to see the work I did with the croy. And then you don't see, nothing disappears. I don't want to see, I don't like it. Became so terrible taste, I think. But I want to try at that time, and then I do the experience. And then I do some experience 95, 96. But the very serious program, when we work maybe for 3 months, more than 3 months, and we pull incredible number the material, the filigrana, the zanfirico, and then we do several work, for example. And then many we do, and many they are there. Not because I don't like it. I like a lot, but I do too many. Very great passion for this kind, the play to work. Still right now I make some old stuff with the old material from 97, 98 in Kentucky. And then we do different projects. And we do a couple pieces, they are very remarkable. But this one is probably 1998. But we finished. They discovered a gene in Seattle, and they finished, and then we found everything the correct way. You know, it's very, very, very interesting.
See the scale of the cane. These are very thick cane material that you've made, and that incredible Zanfirico. This one is titled Ginza, which I think refers to an area in Tokyo.
Yeah, this one, for example, we have this kind of technique. We have this, the same technique. Now I use for the ombelico del mondo. Is exactly the same technique, the material for the graphic, and
right.
then the same Murini I do in 98. I do now for the kite, for the Aquilone. This one, the flat cane we use it for, you know, the cane is just one experience. This kind of experience at the time, 98, I call the pepper the dreams. The pepper dreams, when they say the people, Lino, you do drawing? I say, no. I think a lot. And then when we start to do the panel, I have a big white pepper, and then I have a lot of material in the side. I give it some proportion, and then I do the construction, then the panel. And then I do a lot of things like this. It's very important how to mix the color together, the black, the red. I think it's very, very unusual for me at the time. But still right now, I love it. I have a lot of idea thing, but I do. But I think it's a very expensive, take a time. We need the big furnace, the big kiln. My dream is always that if I have an opportunity, I want to do it. Two, they are very important, is the one wall inspiration from Jerusalem, and then the one stained glass window all killed. I like what they killed from Alabama killed at the moment. And this one is the same time, and the very difficulty. I love this kind of things. I would like to do maybe 3 or 4 times, maybe more than 4 times, 5 times bigger. To do one volume war, put it together with the kind of technique where it's possible put the letter to God or the friends, and what do you think to do it. My dreams to do wonderful wall. I already spoke with the bonsai people. They have a huge kiln, it's maybe 4 meters long. I would like to do this kind of huge scale things. But for making this kind of thing, at the time we work more than 3 months for working together.
And many of you may have seen Lino's panels. Some of them are as big as 60 to 72 inches in height and maybe up to 40 inches wide. And they weigh at least a couple 100 pounds. They're massive. And what you may not see in these images is the thickness of these panels. They're almost an inch thick in some cases. This is the Maasai totem that we have in the gallery, which is 8 feet tall. And we did have 2 at our exhibition in Palm Beach. The other one was actually 10 feet tall. And that one is now in the studio in Seattle. And Lino, this idea really came out of wanting to take the Maasai elements off the wall.
Because I think it's a time to change. It's a time to going up, to do one kind of different geographic and also form. I think it's a very beautiful, keeping one corner, one spot where it's possible to put like a little bit like a Renaissance style to going up, or Gothic, more or less. And then I like a lot of these kind of things, the color put together.
And the carving is very unique on this element.
Yeah, this one take a lot of time. We have this one is we call the tree carving, and then we have the fish, and then we have the water, we have many kind of fish, by the way. The more elegant one probably is the whale skin. But we think also we have in cheese or battuto, the hammer. I think we play a lot with the skin, the material. It's very important. Now a little bit less, but I like a lot to do. For example, we have the diagonal, we have the fish, battuto, skinny, skin. It is wonderful things. I enjoy to do it. Take a
There's a
time.
lot, there really is a lot. You've created new ways of carving into the glass with some of these
Well,
elements.
I don't invent the battuto, honest. No, absolutely no. Because I think before the people in Murano, we have the battuto, the Roman glass to the battuto, they do a lot of carving, a lot of woodworking, in an incredible way, in beautiful way, by the way.
That,
And then the Roman.
I was referring to that really unusual carving, Lino, that looks almost like wood pattern or wood grain. It's
Yeah.
much more, very unusual.
Absolutely, yes. We try to do something special, connect with the material, with the work, and not separate the glass from the glass, from the carving, and the surface must work together. It's very important now to make it.
Now we have some of the individual images. These were images taken by Russell Johnson, these studio images. And this is a Fenice, as you can see. We have the titles, dimensions on the screen. And this is a very new piece, which you're using the fireworks Marini, what Lino calls the fireworks Marini. Yeah.
As you move around it.
Yeah, this element is really beautiful. And Lino had been working quite a bit with the fireworks Marini for the last several years actually most of the work in this show, the new work, is focusing on this Florencia pattern. This is a Fenice with Florencia, which refers to the Marini pattern, which has almost a tapestry-like quality. Lino, this is a fairly recent Marini, and do you want to talk a little bit about how you found this pattern? I know it's one of the more complex to make the Marini.
The Morini, in the past, I started to work at the Morini a long time ago, honest. At the time when I am master at the Galliano Ferro in 1954, practically yesterday. And then we work with a lot of Morini. And then we work in Murina, the factory for the name. We work exclusively only with the Murina. Murina, white, smaller, bigger, red, yellow. At one point, after 8 years of working with Morini, I became very tired to work with Morini. I say, no anymore. I don't want to anymore work with the Morini because they are I want something different way. And then I moved into different factory, F3 International. And then finally, I don't work with the Morini, but except some special things. The Morini Florencia came from the one kind of carpet I saw in Florence, in Palazzo Pitti. One kind of tapestry, they are fantastic. And then I like keep in mind that then, for example, we do, for example, in Seattle with the experimental work we do probably around 200 kind of Morini. Not everybody with the thing we use, but depends on which color we want to do it. But we have a catalog over 200 kind of Morini. And then we have the coffee beans, no coffee beans, a lot of incredible number of things. We have many singular name. But coffee bean is one preparation at the Florencia, and then we have a different kind of things. But I think the Florencia Morini is one kind of pattern I like a lot. I like a lot because it makes one kind of different things.
This is an image of you, Lino, at MIT when you were there a few years ago.
Wow.
And this gives you the audience a sense of how these Morini are laid out on the kiln shelf, then heated, and then picked up. There's the body of, this isn't the actual Morini for this piece, but essentially the body of this piece is made from the Morini. And this particular piece has a texture to it. If you touch it, it actually has a relief.
Because I work at some time, the Florencia, I work with the Morini inside. And this one, for you want to do the surface in different way, I work with the Morini outside because I want to be feeling if you touch. Also the material, they are soft and hard. Depending on which color we use, it's possible make a very sharp design, looking like we have one kind of pottery, ceramic things. Now we have the clear glass that make a difference. The color is a fantastic to see how the Morini movie, how you blowing, because we don't cut with the sewing machine, but we cut with the diamond hammer. And then they cut in a regular way, and when we eat, they move in a different way, like thank you, King, for the beautiful blue detail. The pieces are very, and for me, I like a lot of this kind of thing because you see how deep they are. It's a fantastic idea, you know.
It's incredible, the dimension.
It's why you see how they move in different, because they are not regular, and then it's very important to cut in with the hammer. Then look, with the sword, it became better, not better, but not good. They look more sharp, but they became flat. I want something that became very smooth. Also, this one is quite interesting. This one we have a maybe clear a little bit outside, inside, but they are very strong surface. They make a huge difference in things.
It's incredible. This fiery quality in this piece.
You know, I work in one day, no, because the doctor gave me the rule. You must work one day yes, one day no. For me, when I start to finish to work at the session, we needed to stop. I have a lot of idea, and then I wait another maybe couple months, 3 months before start to work. And it's very boring and frustrating because at the time when you start to work, your brain start to engine, and then you must wait to become warm. When you are warm, you stop it. It's terrible, and then to think. And then, yeah. But I like it. I like a work, honestly. Probably too much. Everybody complain.
Lino, we've seen how you a lot of times you'll skip lunch. You'll just you'll eat a little something while you're working to keep going, and you just don't want to lose that momentum.
No, it's not only in the use of momentum, is the problem if I eat and then I go to work and then, you know, it's a difficulty sitting the bench with the full body stomach. For me, it's a very important to eat something, just to give me some energy, drink some more water, but not eat too much because I start to eat. I eat. And then if I go to work, and then I feel very, very full. You know, it's a difficulty to bend. And it's a difficulty. Anyway, I think I prefer keeping my brain sharp. Food is not a good idea.
This is a beautiful dinosaur we have in our exhibition. And this is one of the, maybe one of the few that you've done with the Aquilone cane pattern, Marini pattern. Got some beautiful details of it.
Yeah, this one is a very incredible, beautiful detail because we have a wonderful pattern from different color. We have a purple, ruby, blue. One kind, the blue is a very solid, hard, solid because it's a very, the composition, it don't become very soft, don't open, keeping the line very sharp. Not too sharp, quite sharp. And then in the middle, we put a couple color. And then we have a very simple part at the neck with the red, and the red. Sometimes I like to play with the same color, blue, blue, red, red, purple, purple. All very strong, very wonderful combination. The combination color is very important for me to play. It's a very, the moment, I like to play with the many colors. Anyway.
You can really appreciate how you can see both the front and the back of the piece through the transparency and the effects of the color with the two, with the front and the back of the piece.
You know, it's a very important, the technique I use always the Roman technique because it's a different than the Venetian in one point. I call it Roman because one kind of ball the Roman people do it, and then I start from the cop, the Roman, but they do also in Venice, but then we keep it separated. Pick up the cane with the Morini, horizontal from the top. In American people, I call the plunger. I never know what it means. Somebody told me it's a terrible word, you know. But it's very popular in America, they call it plunger. It's one technique I use because it gives me one kind of gravity, the material, and they move in different way. If you do the ball, you have perfect drawing in the barrel without touch, without moving anything. It's very, now became very popular. By the time they are a bit like this. This one is a Venetian technique, pick up the cane. I mean,
And the aventurine, which is a very, very difficult material to get that sparkle. I know that can be challenging sometimes.
I think that the one color I like it, but the main time I hate because the aventurine is a very, they call aventurine from adventure. The Venetian people discovered this kind of color in the middle of the 15th century. And they call aventurine because they want to do, in Europe at the time, they were looking for to do the gold, artificial gold, but they discovered the red, they discovered the ruby, they also discovered the amethyst for making the kind of the precious stone. In this case, they try to do the desert stone, is from the sparkling stone they have in the desert. Mm-hmm. And now became became so popular, the Venturi, that now everybody in the desert, if you go in Turkey, if you go in everywhere, then you find a desert, they call Aventuri. They don't call anymore desert stone. It's a very interesting. It's very hard to do it because you must do the formula, then you put a lot magic potion, it's a copper anyway. And then you must tour, mix for maybe hours, maybe day, until you sign the suspension copper come up. How to see, how to do it, take a time. You must have a lot of knowledge. Sometimes happen, sometimes doesn't happen. Sometimes come out fantastic. You think you discovered the way to do it, the next time you do it, it doesn't work. By the way, when you put everything to make it the color, you must close and wait 6 days before it became color. And then you discover what to come out. Sometimes it's wonderful, sometimes it's terrible.
Another earlier piece from 2009. So we have some of the more classic, we could call it, work of yours with some of the newest work.
But this one I like it because the picture technique. I like the color red and red. For me, this one is smaller. We represent practically the perfection, the form, the dinosaur. Beautiful too.
There we have the, here you're incorporating the Marini with the Aventurine, making it even more complex. So we have a 3-minute film that was done a number of years ago. This was done when Lino had his first exhibition at the Museum of Glass in Tacoma. And the original film has Dante Marioni narrating. Today we're going to have Lino actually explain what he's doing. So we're going to go to that right now. Lino, we'll leave it to you if you'd like.
Let me see what to be doing.
Lino, are you able to
We do,
explain?
yes, I need to see what we're doing. Here we do the Pilcher 96. Because Pilcher 96, because the technique is folding the bubble. And then we born in Pilcher 96 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning. We use one technique the Venetian people do for many, many years. But at one point, we stop here, and then we pick up and we do the leaf, the tyranny leaf. In this case, I don't do the leaf, I open, and then I do one kind of cup. When I start to working, and then I make the Pilcher 96 because we do one kind of necklace, then nobody do it before. Because even my brother-in-law Kiko, when we are very good friends, and then I learned from him how to make this kind of technique. He say, "How you doing?" I say, "You teach it to me to do it." He a little bit older than me. I think he work Benini, the technique, Benini technique. And then I explain, "Oh my God, I never understand it's possible to do like this." And they come out of this kind of technique called Pilcher 96. It became one kind of necklace. At the time, we do wonderful, wonderful golden age, golden beautiful things. I think. You see now the necklace come out.
So essentially, you're changing the axis on the piece.
I checked the access 2 times, sometimes 3, depends on what the graphic I want to do it. It's possible necklace, I want to do maybe one necklace one side, one necklace the other side, depends on what I want to do. It's a very important principle. If I put the separation, instead of put in the front, I put in the side, and then I have a different graphic. If I want to put in the middle, I have 2 strange things going on, depending what I want to do.
It's always about experimenting and changing and growing. You're always doing that, Lino. It's amazing.
If you don't do experimental work is boring, you know. You must work, not for working, just for fun, for experience, to find the way, to find maybe something happen. We do very terrible things, so we broke everything because it's too advanced, too complicated at one point. You know. This one is a beautiful graphic. For example, this kind of pattern. And this one is the Morini is outside. It's a beautiful, beautiful graphic things. You know.
Amazing.
Yeah, again, this is a really beautiful piece to hold because you can feel the pattern and the difference. I think the white is maybe a harder type of glass chemically, and so it doesn't melt in as much as the colored glass.
No, you meant very well. You meant very well because, for example, if we talk, for example, this one, we have the purple. It's a more stiff the outside. The white one is more stiff than the aquamarine. Because we have the aquamarine is more soft because we have the copper. And then here we have the manganese that make the color. And then we have this one, we have the red, it's more stiff. Then the aquamarine is a little bit less stiff than the purple. Depends on how you want to use the graphic. What do you want to do? You know?
So you're talking so much chemistry. I think it would be interesting for some people to know that you have made your own glass too, and have special recipes for certain colors.
Special, yeah, I think I gave you a lot of recipe. For example, the bonsai, gaffer, and many people in Seattle. Also, one time we go to do one demo in one place and we carry all the stuff, I don't know for which reason, we have all my formula. And then the box with my formula, then everything disappears. We don't find anymore. I found the sandpaper in Murano, and then we needed to rediscover a little bit of what is going on, but I lost everything up a couple of times, but it's okay. No problem. I survived, you know. But this one is a very important how to play. For example, play with the color, with the Morini, the thickness. I think it's a very important stuff. How to enjoy to do.
This piece, Lino, there's a layer of clear glass, at least one layer, maybe 2, in this case on the outer surface.
Yep.
So you don't get that, the texture is not the way it is on the previous piece.
Oh, because of this one, the inside, you find the texture anyway, but it's 2 colors different, green and aquamarine. The green and aquamarine, they are 2 soft colors. And when you blowing, the inside became almost smooth. It's a difficulty to find inside because of the other, they are outside. We work in different way.
That's a beautiful piece. It's incredible. The depth again in this material, the piece is perhaps maybe 3/8 of an inch thick, and it looks like it could be 2
Yeah.
inches thick.
I think they are quite thick, yeah, in the bottom. We needed to have the bottom with the gravity, otherwise nobody's very good to balance. This one is the alpha coffee beans. Maybe
Again,
I'll have the coffee beans around.
Coffee bean marini.
it's titled Aquilone.
So,
Yeah.
coffee bean.
Right.
Yeah, we call it coffee bean because have many names, honest.
This was one of the earlier Aquilone pieces, Lino, where you're
Yeah, right.
combining it with more iconic teardrop form.
Yeah.
Beautiful form.
You know, if the technique I use, it's very important for me to use the technique because I wanted the graphic. Everything changed. I became moving different way. It is very important how to move it.
Another Aquilone, very new piece and very unusual form. The really joyful piece.
Yeah, it is nice.
It's a real variety of color in this one, Lino. Some of these, you really, they're very exuberant,
Yeah,
your use of the color.
I think I like it to play like this anyway.
This piece titled Kuma, which is a slightly different variation on the Florencia. It's a more compact. And I love the rosette form in the middle. Just how you took that one.
Yeah, this one is interesting. We use all the material. I think we like to play with the material, all the leftover, all the kind of things. It's a very beautiful to work. I like a lot. I think it's a very so easy sometimes to play when you have so beautiful colors, so beautiful things. Oh, this one is a beautiful with the Florencia, but at the meantime, I put a sunken inside because I wanted the give it like the movement of the water inside. It's like the wave, the moving, the tree or the leaf or the algae.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
To see how they move a little bit, you know. It's a very good area, they move the way they divide in one point. And they are like to fold this part. They're very important to move in different way.
This is almost the aquatic quality and also the feeling of wind in this piece too. It's,
You know, this kind of technique is a Roman technique because when I was young, I tried to study the Roman technique. And then I worked for many times to folding Roman cup. And then I win one Prix one time, long time ago, in 1962 or 63. I was quite young at the time. But I like it because for me, the Roma culture, and they have the skill, unbelievable, wonderful technique, the skill the Roma, they have maybe the people, they have the same technique, same skill. I feel for me, I think the quality, the craft, the Roma, they are unbelievable, much better what we are now. Absolutely much better.
This is
Yeah, we play with
incredible.
blue and green.
It's really has the effect of summer or spring. The coloration is really quite wonderful.
I think
Very
it's
unusual too, the form. And it's such an elegant piece, you know.
springtime.
This is some of the newest cane Marini form, Nassau, where the Aquilone, it's taking the cane and Marini in a very different direction. It's the way you're combining the Marini forms. We have, there's a detail, and we have some images, Lino, of you putting together the Marini for a Nassau piece.
Yeah.
There you can see this. This is a close-up view. This was back in February.
So those are the Aquilone Marini, correct? That you've put into the Nassau design.
Yeah, I think Nassau design, then we change the one point we do the Aquilone. Well, one point I use we call the Phoenix technique, Fenici. And we call the one kind of technique, the Fenici. And then it's very interesting how to move it, to squeeze, to do this kind of things. It's very important to see the oval, to see it through the other side together.
Yeah, the combination of the front and back and the play with the transparency works very well. As in this one as well, Lino, this is Kira, where the patterns are playing off of each other.
For example, Akira, I use the same technique. I use the stromboli in different pattern, but the same technique I use the 204. Same technique, the different material.
They're almost pod-like glass forms that you use to create the patterning. So each of those pods are essentially blown forms in themselves. And here's a little video showing that piece.
We call nouveau. because represent for me inspiration from little bit Art Nouveau. This kind of Morini, they are totally graphic. I think it's unbelievable. Oh, thank you, Over. I think it's a very unbelievable how the quality, the material, the pattern is possible to use.
Lino, I think you mentioned that to me earlier that this was reminiscent of the Chrysler building.
Exactly, yes. For some reason, represent a little bit Art Nouveau. It represented the Chrysler, they have the same things. And then when I do this, I love it very much. But like everything, I love it very much. The other people don't feel it so much. It's a very strange, even Jacopo, the thing. And the people watching it, they say, oh, it's okay, but I think it's not too bad. For me, personally, I found very special, honest.
Well, it's interesting that you've been working with so much color lately, and to go to this type of piece within that whole scope of work. This was done around the same time as of these very colorful pieces. So it really shows how you want to create some contrast and to try new things and to try something different. And a lot of times people don't understand it at first.
Well, happened several times, but I think it's okay. Must have been that way. I'm not complaining, but I want to say, it's a difficulty to move here to there. I think sometimes the people, they are confusing, but it's okay. I think I like this, but sometimes it takes time. We have some example. In the past, we do one work I like a lot. We do the show in New York, and we don't sell one pieces. I remember a long time ago. And then I'm very disappointed, but it's okay, I survived, but 3 or 4 years, we do another show, same gallery, and they choose 2 pieces. The series we do before, incredible successful. They sold, and then everybody wanted the pieces. They don't understand what happened. It happened several times. When I do design Murano, I am a little bit advanced. Everybody at the time, they copy my work because I do some work with little bit advanced, and then we take a time, but they became very modern, very popular. Endeavor born in Pilchuck 95. And the first pieces they design, they make it by Bill Morris. And we do one piece like this, maybe everybody thinks it's fantastic. But they are smaller, and the people they cut in Pilchuck, he's sweating like a crazy for 2 days by cut. We do it. And then we do in Murano, and the biggest we do is over 2 meters, I think, over 6 feet. But they are very skilled at the time. But honestly, the first time we have a day, it's unbelievable. We have one project, and somebody ordered to me one Endeavor red, totally red. For some reason, I don't know why, we broken 15 pieces before we do the first one. And then we learn how finally to cut.
Oh,
We lost. We were
because you blew 16 vessels and had to cut 15 before you got one of them right. Is that what? Wow.
Yeah.
It's glass.
You can see this endeavor is cut quite heavily on the bottom. You can see all the carving.
Yes. To cut, we not able to, for some reason we make a mistake, but we have the committed this kind. I want to do it because I love it. My family will learn how to do it. Somebody will learn anyway.
This is a shot of the endeavor mounted to the wall in the gallery. So you can see that they can be displayed in two different ways. Another very different cane approach. This one's very unusual, Lino.
Yeah, I think believe it or not, I use the same cane. I use it for do not the killer, oh my God, the aquilone. The same stuff, but I use it for making this.
Wow.
And sometimes the same cane I use it for do the aquilone. I cut it different way, but this one I keep it flat. I keep it different way because I want something special.
Another very unusual aquilone with layering, the aquilone marini with, you can see the cane filigrano, which is manipulated and applied over. So you've got two different completely unusual cane layerings. This might give you a better idea seeing it up close. The great Florencia, this is a really great example of how the cane really changes, the marini that is, changes from the bottom of the piece as it progresses to the top and gets stretched out and melted. So there's really an incredible range from top to bottom. Just a beautiful form. This one's called Cayuga.
Cayuga, yep.
Very, almost a figure-like form. And I believe, Lino, the first one was made at Corning, which might have something to do with the
Yes, we do in Corning.
title.
The time Corning, apparently they are very easy to do it. Come out very easy. And then after I try to repeat, I have a very difficulty to make it. Finally, then after 3 or 4 years, I think a couple of years, they ask me because they want something, you must do something with the Murini. I say, I don't want to do it because I try to remake it. Come out nice. And then I throw away maybe 3 or 4 or 5 pieces. And very frustrating. But at one point they ask, don't I try to make one intermediate form? Finally, I realize where I make a mistake. And then I make it come out very super easy and very embarrassing. How sometimes I stupid we are. I think we know everything, but finally, I do very easy and nice. Because if you don't do fresh, you never make a nice work. Became very elaborate things, doesn't work. Now, we do at the time very terrible things that I don't want to do anymore. But finally, I come out too nice. I broke about the thing at the time, maybe 4 or 5 pieces, because I don't like it. Very angry, very frustrating.
It's about experimentation. The amount, what we don't see on the screen today are all those pieces that didn't make it, and everything that you had to, things that had to be destroyed along the way that led to these pieces being made.
Well, you know, with the last example, the piece I broken is a huge dinosaur we do in Tacoma. Terrible. Very good hammer, we do terrible things. But I hate, but I do it sometimes.
Must be really hard.
Kind of like the nouveau, but in different way, a little bit more close. It's a very special technique we use it too. This one is more colorful.
A number of these, the Aquilone, excuse me, the Aquilone pieces. This one also having 2 completely different sides.
You know, I get this, the blue here. This one is a fantastic. How to make these kind of things like this. And they have the center nick, the nouveau. But the other ends we do is that the 2 folding is only 1 folding here, and they make a difference of things.
This Aquilone, again, using the layering of 2 different cane patterns, or Marini and cane.
Yeah.
Here you can see it in this detail.
I discovered it because the cane side, they give it sound distortion, and they make the graphic absolutely much better. It's a bit became more complicated, but given one graphic, I like it much better.
Interesting, the graphic aspect to your work. I remember when I first started looking at glass sculpture, I saw the forms and the shapes and that was, to me, was like, oh, that's the sculpture. But as I learned more and more through time, it's the graphics. It's like looking at, you know, a design or a painting that's also a form. And it's so interesting how it, with what you can't get with a painting, you can move all around that form and get so many different compositions. Really like thinking of your graphic sensibilities.
These patterns on this Stromboli piece, you can really see how the fused panels and the sculptural work have this relationship with each other, how they feed into each other. Here's a nice photo of Lina and Lino in Murano. And that's the same studio that Lino and Diletta are sitting at right now.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful photo. And that's the same piece, actually.
Yeah, but the eyes closed. I don't know why.
The big smile.
I think it's you're so happy in that photo.
Oh, nice.
I know we're going over time here, so we will just we have a few more pieces here. Are we okay, Marilee?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
We're, you know, people are leaving as they have to, but it's,
Okay.
we're getting a lot of positive comments and,
Oh,
and
good.
thanking you and Lino for your time and these incredible images. And of course, his his wonderful art.
This piece, Kuma, is almost like looking at a coral reef. It's beautiful Marini in this one. Such a variety.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And we're ending with this this piece from 2001, this Batman, where you can see all the carving on the surface. And this was also creating that necklace effect, Lino, right? This is the...
Yeah, the one technique necklace effect. I think is a very interesting now to use the same technique, for example, we use it for Pilsen 86. But instead they use this kind, the continuing, improving different way.
I can show, there's a video here from the same time period as the last one, showing you making a Batman.
In 2 minutes.
Highlights of it, I should say. And Lino, if you want to, again, talk a little bit while it's running.
We are in Tacoma. We keep it the form. It's a Pilsen 86, but we keep it the form open, long. And then we touch the punti, we transfer in the middle there. Crack off. We go to open one hole in the middle, is for breathe, but also for the form. Look so easy and faster. The smooth, the things, I think is a very important, the concept, the idea how to do it, you know. And then we cut and we have the cane with the coloring side, W color. When we do the recutting, they come out of the coloring side and became like a pearl, like a necklace.
And it seems like it was made so in such a short amount of time, especially in that little video. But it's all those years, Lino, of experience and hard work that gets you to that, to making that beautiful piece. These last photos actually are from Lino's exhibition last summer, when we had a gallery full of people sharing in the opening and celebrating Lino and Lina. And we miss having all of you. Well, we look forward to having you all back again. And in a way, we feel like this has been like a Zoom opening for Lino's exhibition. The gallery is actually open by appointment now. So we are making our way back through this. But we appreciate how supportive all of you have been, and you can see some of the board members, Pam and Shelley and Fred and Susan. and that's Stanley Woolley, who works with us. And we just want to say thank you all.
Thank you.
Again, thank you, Lino. We want to say thank you to Jacopo Vecchiato, who manages Lino's U.S. operation,
Thank you.
who has been so supportive throughout this. And again, thank you, Diletta.
You're welcome.
And Silvana, her father, Silvano, for helping. And I think I see Lena.
Oh, we have a Lina here.
Oh, right. That's great.
Lena.
Hi, Lena. How are you?
Thank you.
Very
Go,
good.
Lena.
Sandra.
Wonderful afternoon for you, evening for us.
Thank you so much, Lino. You've been incredible and with your time.
Grazie.
Yes.
Lino, great presentation. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Kim.
Oh, thank you all. Oh, now I see everybody.
Thank you
Yay.
all very, very much. Thank
Thank
everyone
you.
for attending.
Thank you.
Lino,
Magnificent.
thank you. And Kim and Jim, thank you. You did great. So
Wonderful.
Thank you. Thanks, Marilee, for guiding us again.
it's recorded and I will post it on the Art Alliance for Contemporary Glass YouTube channel this afternoon. So everyone stay safe and enjoy yourself and hopefully see you again next Friday.
Thank
Very
you.
good. Thank you. Great
Bye.
presentation.
Thank you.
Be well.
Thank you. Great job.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Right.